It's been a long fight, but they say it's worth it. The New York Post profiling 5 canceled professors and their fight back, including this one, who quit his job over the far-left agenda on campus.
The censoriousness in traditional academic institutions is, and I think it's really important to call things what it is. It's not the liberals who have taken over the institutions. It's the authoritarians who have taken over the institutions, traditional academic institutions. And it's needed because our institutions now have been hijacked by maniacs.
It's a topic our next guest knows all too well. Piers Morgan, host of Piers Morgan Uncensored on Fox Nation, and he joins us now. Good morning to you, Piers.
Good morning.
Good morning. I know that you were tweeting about this very issue. Tell us why you wanted to focus on this.
Well, but I'll tell you why. Because actually at the core of this is what my new show is about, Piers Morgan Uncensored, right. Because what is going on college campuses, not just in America, but around the world, is brutal censorship of any views by anyone that differs from this woke, cancel culture mob mentality. And when you read this New York Post story, it's really quite terrifying in a way. What you discover is that nearly 600 educators at faculties all around America have been punished in some form for expressing opinions. And the rate of these punishments being handed out is now multiplying 4- or 5-fold every year, which means that there's a real ongoing attempt to suppress freedom of speech on college campuses. When you look through some of these stories, some of these professors' stories, and thank God they're speaking out and taking the battle to the mob, one of them actually got cancelled because he was holding a class educating people about how to deal with offensive language. And as part of the lecture, he used offensive language to illustrate what he was talking about and was immediately branded a homophobe, racist, and so on, for using offensive language deliberately to make a point about offensive language. That is how ridiculous this has all got. So I applaud these professors for speaking out, but everyone who works in a college campus around America, in fact, globally, they should all be looking at this piece and asking themselves one question: what kind of kids are you seeing coming through these colleges if only one narrow worldview is allowed? To me, it's a complete disgrace.
And Piers, what I hear from a lot of professors is that it's the kids who are coming into the colleges who almost demand this type of conformity. They're the ones tattling on teachers who dare to stand up for actual free speech or challenging conventional dogmas.
Well, my kids have demanded candy from me over the years when they were younger. Did I always give them candy? No, I didn't. Because actually, sometimes I would say, don't be so ridiculous. You're full up with candy. You need something a bit more healthy for your mental state and physical well-being. And that's exactly the same thing at these colleges. I mean, it is utterly ridiculous if genuinely professors are now being held to ransom by a bunch of woke, indoctrinated kids who think they can control the people that are trying to teach them a rounded view of life, which is what the whole point of a university or college is supposed to be. And the moment that stops, the moment you have professors being hounded out of their jobs, being punished for expressing opinion, then you're going to start creating a whole generation of students who come out of these places who are completely indoctrinated. And not in a way, by the way, which the majority of people feel about issues in life, but about a very small minority of very vocal, pretty ultra-woke, ultra-left people who have decided it is incumbent on them to, in a fascist-like way, dictate how we're all going to think about everything. It is a terrifying thing, as I said, to read this piece and see experienced, knowledgeable professors getting hounded out of their job for having an opinion that these kids should be hearing. And it's got to stop.
Right. And, your show gives a forum to people who have been canceled. And, you detailed the Sharon Osbourne story, which ran in the last week or so. But congratulations, because I think your first week, 64 million impressions or hits or viewers or whatever. And I saw that because the topic, the first one was about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was very proud of the fact that he was the subject and 64 million hits. But then at the end of the statement, it goes, great, great, great ratings, but he's over. Something happened to him. Piers Morgan, not the same guy that he used to be. I don't know what the heck happened to him.
I think you've got a great interview when a recently departed president of the United States issues not one, not two, but 3 statements so far about the interview, all of them with conflicting reports from his mind about how he thinks it went. On the one hand, he thought it was tedious. On the other hand, he thought it was brilliant. He thought the ratings were fantastic, but I'm finished and over the hill.
You're done.
And in fact, at a rally last night, I think in Nebraska, he announced that I'm officially crazy. Well, Mr. Trump, if you're watching, I'm happily able to say that I think I am probably quite crazy. I actually think we're all a bit nuts, and that's what makes the world go round. But what I would say to him, if he's watching, I know he loves watching Fox and Friends, President Trump, it was a fantastic interview. Everyone I know who watched it actually thought you came out of it really well. So why you're going completely crackers about a 30-second promo, which, as I think I said to you guys before, I simply used a promo to sell the interview to get people to watch. It worked. Everybody watched. And on a more serious point, I think the interesting thing about the reaction is how you can generate such extraordinary volume of eyeballs around the world now from these clips, from these interviews. And to be fair to Donald Trump, he does generate a lot of heat with this stuff. But to get 64 million different views on different platforms, social media, from the newspapers I write columns for, when we gave them exclusive clips and so on. It's really fascinating to me that you can create a massive amount of people watching this stuff, but not in the conventional way that we did when we were young.
Sure. Absolutely. And I read a thing over the weekend when I was down at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in one of the papers down in D.C. about how TV executives kind of missed Donald Trump because their ratings were really high when he was president. Everybody was tuning in, and Joe Biden, kind of boring, is what the thing said. Check out Piers Morgan Uncensored on Fox Nation. He's weekdays at 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Piers, thank you very much.
Piers.
Thank you, Pierce.
And I'm crazy.
That's crazy,
I tell you.
Read all about it.
Apparently we all are, though.
Oh, that's amazing. Imagine the
Thank
contrast.
you.
CNN Plus canceled after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Fox Nation helping to drive an interview that gets 64 million views.
Well, we thank you.
Just saying.
People at home.
It was a good interview. Just saying.